Welcome back, everybody, and oh, do we have a show of gun rights freedom for you today. We are going to talk about Matthew McConaughey. Not only in a prior video did we talk about his new initiative that's coming out to help schools spend and apply for grants. Now there's a video, and we're going to break everything down right now. It is linked in the description box below. Please, by all means, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, and we are going to get into this because we have got some freedom to pass on. Let's get it. Oh, we got to talk about Matthew McConaughey. Now, as kind of a primer for something that we covered earlier, you can go back about a day or two ago and watch this whole video. But essentially, Matthew McConaughey has put together a foundation that's all meant to help schools spend the money that's in the grants for the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. That was the Gun Control Act passed last year in June. Well, the big thing was by 2026, that money gets reallocated if it's not used. You can imagine where it gets reallocated to. But that's the whole impetus behind Matthew McConaughey's little initiative here. But we got to dive into this video because, again, there's now officially a main A-list actor who's making videos around it. So let's dive in.
On June 25th, 2022, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act was signed into law following the Robb Elementary School tragedy in my hometown of Uvalde, Texas. Now, part of this bill sets aside billions of dollars to make American schools safer.
All right, so we're going to break down two little things real quick about that one segment. First of all, the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act did a few main things. One, it did set apart a lot of money, like the billions of dollars he's talking about, but it also made all 18 to 20-year-olds subject to a 10-day waiting period mandatory imposed by the ATF from this whole bill. Okay? That's one. That's an unconstitutional action. The other one that they did was they provided funding for red flag laws for all the states. Now, the big irony is they can't get to that red flag law funding because it's all unconstitutional, doesn't have due process in it. None of them do, which means the money's just sitting there, which is why we get back to the 2026 irony. The other thing that I want to say here is I'm not against hardening the schools. I am 100% for hardening the schools. I'm 100% for putting the resources in place to make students safer. However, what I'm not down for is more gun control because it will not solve the problem at all. The problem is people related. We deal with the people, we'll deal with the problem. But anyway, let's get back into this because there's something else. I want to break this down a couple of times because of these three clips, he hits on some important things that we're going to add some clarity to, okay? Again, I'm all for keeping students safe and I'm not trying to make light of his actions, but we do have to talk about the entire bill's implications.
Pay for mental health resources and security for safer schools to ensure that our kids can learn in peace and without fear. The problem is, not enough school districts that need these grants know how to apply for them. And for those that do, it is a complex and expensive process.
Okay, so basic question. This is easy. If this process is so complex and so expensive, doesn't that kind of undermine the entire premise of the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act that was passed and lauded by Democrats and Republicans as the easiest way to solve this problem? Like, for example, let's put this a different way. You're going to set aside billions of dollars to help harden schools and provide mental health care support in these schools. You're going to make it expensive to apply for. You're going to make it complicated to apply for. And also, you're going to deny schools when they apply for the grants. And conveniently, that money at 2026, if it's not used, gets reallocated. This is so bad, in fact, that Matthew McConaughey is putting together an initiative to help schools do this. Again, see this for what it is. Exactly. Let's get into this. I got one more clip for you because he hits something else here that I think is fascinating.
But now, we have a solution. The Green Lights Grant Initiative. It will, one, get the word out that this money is there for schools that want and need it. Two, it will help school administrators apply for these grants by letting them know when the deadlines are, what the grants pay for, and how to apply. We're even going to provide professional grant writing services, all at no cost to schools. That's right. It's free. When Camilla and I went to Uvalde, the parents and the family members of the children that were killed asked for one thing: make their lives matter. But let's make sure that the first bill passed in 28 years to help protect all of our children in schools matters.
All right. So obviously, the emotional piano the smiling, the delivery, the A-list actor. This is meant to inspire confidence and get you on board. Okay, fine. Again, I want to illustrate and re-emphasize that I don't want to undermine anything that what he's saying for this portion of hardening schools and mental safety and support for children in schools. Schools should be hardened the entire time. But here's where I have a bit of an issue. You've got a scenario now where this bill, yes, it did set apart some money for hardening these schools and providing mental support. It absolutely did. But it also infringed upon every single American in the United States with red flag laws should they take part in their Second Amendment rights. And it bribed states to do it with funds. Now, granted, they put in due process as a negotiation, but it's still there, and that was the impetus behind the idea. The next one was the ATF interpreted the the rules inside the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act to restrict all 18 to 20-year-olds and mandate a 10-day waiting period regardless of who it is. So per their demographics and who they are, not what they've done, they're getting an extended background check and a mandatory waiting period of 10 days. That's unconstitutional. Now, when you put all of these things together, you've got unconstitutionality on one side, you got unconstitutionality on another side, and then you have money for hardening in mental support in schools. Why couldn't we just do a bill that had mental support and hardening of schools? I don't really understand that, especially why do we put a expiration date and a sunset of 2026 on something that was convoluted and no schools get into place? The very fact that Matthew McConaughey has to make this video and elicit responses from schools and provide free grant writing services, and he's got to say it's expensive and it's complicated. I thought the whole point was to help people. That's what we were told and sold. It doesn't seem to be that way. And that's why I'm hitting this one more time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.